You guys know that, like, one of my favorite guys in the industry is Dave Batista. Good Filipino kid. Dave Batista, he was the very first celeb guy to come on our 24-hour marathon that we did a bunch of years ago to help support the typhoon relief efforts. I've had a chance to get together with him on several different occasions. I have never met, honest, and I mean this sincerely, I've never met a more humble guy in the business. I mean, like, I several times talked to him. He's like, listen, I know I have no business being here. I remember, Christian, I was on the set. Remember that movie that RZA did? I think it was called The Man with the Iron Fists.
Yeah.
I went down, I was on set of that movie, and I had a chance to sit down with Bautista, and I'll never forget this. First time I ever heard an actor say this. And he said, he looked around the set, he goes, look around. He goes, I have no business being here. I know how lucky I am to be in the position I'm in. And, and that's always stuck with me. He's just a sweetheart of a guy. And it looks like he may end up being our brand new Kratos. You guys remember that Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy fame, and he's, of course, you can see him in the Odyssey right now. He was cast and started shooting the show, but then he tore his bicep. And that's an injury that could take him like a year before he can use his arm properly. So they've got to go back and reshoot a bunch of stuff. And the question became, who's going to be the new Kratos? And now, according to this report in Variety, it very well could be Dave Bautista. This is what Variety wrote. Dave Bautista could be the next God of War. Variety has learned from sources that Bautista is currently in talks for the role of Kratos in the Amazon Prime Video series based on the popular video game franchise. The news comes after it was reported that Ryan Hurst, who had originally been cast in the role of the titular god in January of 2026, suffered a torn bicep on the set of the series and would have delayed a return production until 2027. Ultimately leading to Amazon and Sony to recast the part. The plan is to get production back up and running by the fall. And first of all, I said this before when we talked about Ryan losing the role. It was really unfortunate to hear about that because, Ryan Hurst is a guy who I believe is an absolutely tremendous actor. Like, fabulous actor. And I've loved him in everything he's been in. And I thought he was going to make a great Kratos. And he worked so hard for it. And then to have something like this happen, it's really unfortunate. Now, as we mentioned before, some of you remember that in the game God of War Ragnarok, Ryan Hurst played Thor. So I don't know, maybe they'll let him come back and play Thor in season 2. Maybe yes, maybe no. So, but the Batista thing is an interesting choice because, number one, Batista has evolved from those early days of Man with the Iron Fist saying, I don't even know if I belong here, to, man, just watch him in Blade Runner and several other things. He has evolved and developed into a legit Hollywood actor. He's got chops, especially comedy. He's actually quite good at comedy, but he's got chops. Whether he's got them enough, guys, at this point, to be the lead of a tentpole franchise television series. As much as I like Dave, I honestly don't know the answer to that yet. I don't think we've had anything really comparable that he's been in yet to say, oh yes, this will directly translate into him being great in this role. The one kind of little floating question mark I have is Dave Bautista isn't the same size he used to be. Even when you watched him in, what was that one he just did with Jason Momoa? Was it Wrecking Crew?
Right. Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that, by the way. I thought that was more fun than it had any business being.
Yeah, and that was also Amazon.
Yeah, it was also
so it kind of makes sense. It's kind of in the family, why they would kind of.
And in that, he's clearly still a big, in shape, strong guy, but he's not the same monster we used to see in the WWE. So, and at his age, putting that muscle back on isn't as easy as it was when he was 40. So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting question mark. But the most important thing is, of course, getting somebody who can really act. There's that Oliver dude who played Paulie in Reacher season 3, who goes around, who's like dwarfs Alan Ritchson. Like that guy's massive. Like a 7'5" bodybuilder, like legit bodybuilder, one of the most massive human beings in the world. But I just don't know that he's got the acting chops to lead a series like this. So I don't know, Christian, it seems to me that Batista was the fallback name in everybody's mind. Like when it got announced that Ryan went down, it seemed like most people online were saying, well, how about Dave Bautista? How would you feel about Batista taking this role? And do you think he'd be a good suit for it?
I think he's perfect for it. And the one thing is from what, and again, I think so, this is accurate, but I also thought he did, because I remember him making that one statement that he didn't want to put that type of weight on again, and that he was kind of, because he had dropped the weight. However, I think that he put it back on for Highlander, if I'm not mistaken. I think that he put some more muscle and stuff
Well,
back on.
I saw some footage of him in Highlander, and he definitely looks great. I mean, he doesn't look
Not
the
as big
size
as
we're used to
he's never
seeing
going
now,
to
but
do
he's
that again.
big.
He was in,
Yeah.
he was in his 30s, and he was, height of wrestling. But now enough so, because and again, when you don't have to be wrestling big to look big on screen, right? It's like sometimes some of those guys, like remember back in when Triple H was on Blade 3 or whatever, and he looked too big
Yeah.
and he looked fine wrestling, but so he knows what to do as far as that goes. As far as this, it's just a matter of how long they're going to do it. The good thing is that they are shooting seasons 1 and 2 back to back. So that's yes, it's a commitment, but it's also enough that you can have him at the time and the age that he's at currently. Yes, he's an athlete, those too, but the wear and tear gets to you for sure. It depends on how physical the role is going to be. But as far as the look goes, yeah, he's absolutely perfect. And it does, there's going to be more conversation about what really happened with
Ryan
original
Hurst.
lead Ryan and him, and what happened, because it almost feels like an Eric Stoltz situation to me. And I don't want to just yes, he got injured. He absolutely, but they shot like what, 4 or 5 episodes already or something like this show
Yeah.
too. And so I know that they're waiting for, because there's a kid in it, so maybe they don't want to lose. They don't want to wait enough time because the kid's going to age out, even though they're replacing a kid in season 2 because they're going to jump forward. But there's just a lot more going on that I think is really there. That I think that maybe they said, okay, look, maybe we cast incorrectly, and as you said, John, maybe they bring him back for another role, for another thing. So they really like him, they like working with him, but it was an unfortunate situation. But they said, if you shot that many episodes already, and then you're going to recast. And then you're going to recast, and you go, well, because they're totally different actors, completely different actors.
Yeah, very different actors.
I think, my opinion, and I think Ryan's a great actor. I loved him in The Odyssey and other things he's been in. I think that Batista's better suited for this role, and I think I think that they might have, unfortunately, because of the guy's poor injury, they might have a happy accident for Amazon anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it though, I could understand, even with them having shot a number of episodes, if you literally have to put the whole production on hiatus
right?
for a full year,
Yeah.
like bringing in Batista is the difference between losing 4 months versus losing 12 to 14 months. And like, look, at the end of the day,
and schedules that you could potentially lose from other actors and stuff too, for sure.
And the kid,
sure.
like you mentioned, the kid may be aging out and stuff like that. They're already going to cast a different kid for season 2 anyway, because they're jumping ahead a bunch of years. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this could end up being a Harrison Ford, Tom Selleck, Indiana Jones situation. Tom Selleck was supposed to get the role. A contract with Magnum PI forced him out of it. And actually, history was well served. And maybe that'll be the case here with Dave Bautista taking him. Maybe it'll be the best situation.
I agree. I think we're going to be in one of those situations where it's like, I couldn't even imagine anyone else playing Kratos. I mean, he was so good, because he's got to have that anger. Because going back to what you were saying about how he's like an actor, he's not only an actor, he's definitely the best wrestler that has gone into acting as far as talent goes.
100%.
It was that movie he did with Shyamalan that really, really won me over with his ability to.
Where they show up at the house.
He's so good in that movie, and he's carrying that movie. He's the guy in that movie. And I said, that was the one that won me over, because before that I was like, I still think Rock, because of the things he did in like Faster and other things. I know what John Cena does, but Batista won me over because I was like, I just seen him, and maybe wrong, but I just seen him as Drax, and like, yeah, sure, he's in Dune, he does his thing. He's so good in that movie, and everything else that he's done, he really is dedicated to the craft. And I think that he's earned a role like this.
Now,
I've had at the cabin.
Yes, that's the one.
Exactly.
Now, I've had a few people write in this morning before the show started in the live chat and ask, well, what does in talks mean? Does that mean that they're interested? Usually what in talks means is that the studio has decided this is our guy, and the guy has decided, yeah, I want the role. And now it's a matter to see if they can work out a deal that works for both of them. Like 9 times out of 10, when it comes down to then being in talks, it usually works out at that, because at that point, they're pretty far down the road. So, I mean, it's possible it doesn't work out, but maybe I think it's most likely that it does. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Dave Bautista is currently in negotiations now to play Kratos in the God of War series, taking over for Ryan Hurst, who ripped up his bicep. Now, they've got a lot of catching up to do, but they've got time. Do you like the idea of it? Do you think Dave can get that muscle back on? Would you be okay with him maybe not looking as big as we picture Kratos, but having a guy with the acting talent that Dave Bautista brings to the camera? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Mars Men. Guys, you know that one of the frustrating things about getting older is realizing that the things that used to come naturally suddenly require a lot more effort. You wake up tired, workouts feel harder, recovery takes longer, and by the middle of the afternoon, your energy and focus can completely disappear. And that's where Mars Men comes in. Mars Men is designed to support healthy testosterone levels, natural energy, and stamina using 8 clinically dosed ingredients. There are absolutely no synthetics or needles, and it's made in the USA and third-party tested. Some men report steadier energy, stronger workouts, and better recovery, and it comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you.